The Indiana Fever haven't had a winning record in over 5 years. Now, they're 17 wins and 16 losses, and have won 8 of their last 10 games. What changed? Well, there's many. Today, let's look at the numbers behind Lexie Hull's red-hot transformation and Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation that's making it all possible.
Good length on the perimeter on Caitlin. That is a tough pass!
Wow.
And somehow she got it in.
Man, the pass.
Obviously, Lexie's been tremendous, especially on the defensive end. She just brings a spark and a tenacity about her that, maybe we weren't always getting on the defensive end, and she's just willing to do whatever it takes for this team. And
you might be wondering, how does a team go from bottom feeders to playoff contenders practically overnight? Well, it's not magic, folks. It's a perfect storm of player development and rookie firepower. We're talking about a team that's suddenly clicking on all cylinders, leaving opponents scratching their heads. Here's the kicker. This isn't just about one player stepping up. It's a domino effect that's transforming the entire squad. From bench warmers becoming clutch performers to a rookie who's redefining what it means to be a team player, the Fever are cooking up something special. Stick around, because we're about to break down how individual growth is fueling a team-wide renaissance that's got the whole WNBA on notice. Before we dive in, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. While we're on the subject of individual growth, let's talk about the player who's redefining the term glow-up in the WNBA. Lexie Hull went from bench warmer to raining threes at a 70% clip since August. How did a player who once embodied the Fever's struggles become a symbol of their resurgence?
Lexie motherfucking Hull!
Let's rewind to her 2022 rookie season. Hull was just another face on a struggling team, averaging a measly 3.8 points per game. The Fever, they were stuck in a nightmare, posting a league-worst 5-win, 31-loss record, and enduring an 18-game losing streak. It was the kind of season that makes fans question their life choices and players consider early retirement. But something changed in the 2024 season. Post-Olympic break, Hull emerged as a completely different player. We're talking about a transformation so dramatic, it's like she swapped bodies with a three-point specialist.
Hey, Lexie Hull has to fire, and why not? Come on!
What changed? Or more specifically, who? We'll talk more about that later. Here's where it gets wild. Before the break, Hull's three-point shooting was, well, let's just say it wasn't exactly striking fear into the hearts of defenders. She was hitting a career average of just 22.2% from beyond the arc. But after the break, boom! She's suddenly nailing 70% of her three-pointers. That's not just an improvement. That's not just on fire. That's scorching hot. And it's not just about the threes. Hull's entire game has leveled up. She's gone from bench warmer to starter, from liability to asset. Against the Seattle Storm, she dropped a career-high 22 points. But it wasn't just a one-off performance. She's been consistently bringing the heat, putting up 10, 17, and 11 points in other recent games. Now, you might be thinking, sure, she can score, but what about the rest of her game? Well, Hull's not just a one-trick pony. She's become a crucial part of the Fever's defensive strategy, guarding elite players and making life miserable for opponents. She's spacing the floor on offense, opening up lanes for her teammates, and generally being a thorn in the side of every team they face. Caitlin Clark recently turned her Twitter account in the Lexie Hull fan page and said this about her teammate. Lexie has been tremendous, especially on the defensive end. She just brings a spark and a tenacity about her that, maybe we weren't always getting on the defensive end. And she's just willing to do whatever it takes for this team, and it's helped our defense improve a lot. Head coach Christy Sides couldn't be happier with Hull's progress. In her words, she's just done everything that we needed to do to get these wins and to be successful. That's coach speak for, this girl is crushing it, and I'm here for it.
Just really proud of her effort, which is something she gives every night.
But let's be real for a second. Players don't just wake up one day and decide to become stars. This kind of transformation takes work. Hours in the gym, countless shots taken after practice, film study, and a whole lot of determination. Hull's not just riding a hot streak. She's reaping the rewards of her hard work and dedication. And the timing couldn't be better for the Fever. With Hull's emergence as a legitimate threat, opposing teams can't just focus on shutting down one or two players. They've got to account for Hull's sharpshooting, her improved defense, and her overall impact on the game. It's no coincidence that the Fever's fortunes have turned around, as Hull has found her groove. So what's the special sauce? Or more specifically, who? We'll get to that in a bit. If you think the Fever is rising, please remember to like this video and subscribe. This helps us bring more content to awesome viewers like you. Wouldn't you like that? Awesome! Remember that special sauce we mentioned? She's a game changer wearing number 22. How is one rookie transforming role players into stars and turning the Fever into a winning machine? The answer might surprise even the most die-hard WNBA fans. Enter Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who's not just breaking records, she's shattering them. With a mind-boggling 264 assists this season, Clark isn't just leading the league. She's redefining what it means to be a playmaker. But here's the kicker. It's not just about the numbers. Clark's vision on the court is turning good shooters into great scorers, and the Fever's offense has never looked better. Let's break it down. Clark's averaging 18.4 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 8.3 assists per game. Those are all-star numbers for a veteran, let alone a rookie, but it's her ability to find the open player that's truly elevating this team. Take that game against Seattle, where Hull dropped her career-high 22 points. Clark was there, absorbing double teams and threading the needle with pinpoint passes, setting Hull up for success time and time again. You might be wondering, how does one player have such a massive impact? Well, it's not just about the assists, it's about the confidence Clark brings to the court. She's not just passing the ball, she's passing on her winning mentality. As Clark herself puts it, confidence is everything. Confidence is good for the group, and it's also contagious. And boy, is it spreading like wildfire through the Fever lineup. This isn't your typical rookie-veteran dynamic. Clark isn't just learning the ropes, she's rewriting the playbook. Her teammates are quick to point out how she's transformed their offense. The ball movement is crisper, the plays are more fluid, and suddenly, everyone's a threat to score. It's like Clark has unlocked a cheat code for team chemistry, and the results speak for themselves. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark's presence isn't just making individual players better, it's making the entire team harder to defend. With her ability to score from anywhere and set up her teammates, opposing defenses can't just focus on shutting down one player. Try to double-team Clark, and she'll find the open shooter. Give her space, and she'll make you pay with her own scoring. This balanced attack is a big reason why the Fever are finally back in the win column. For the first time in years, they're not just competitive, they're downright dangerous. And it all starts with Clark's ability to make everyone around her better. She's not just breaking records for herself, she's elevating the entire team. Take that record-setting assist game, for example. Clark delivered a perfect pass to Hull for an easy layup, making it look effortless. But that's the thing about great players. They make the difficult look easy, and they make their teammates look good in the process. It's no coincidence that Hull's shooting percentage has skyrocketed since Clark joined the team. The synergy between Clark and her teammates is becoming the stuff of legend. In recent games, their combined scoring and assists have been the driving force behind the Fever's offensive onslaught. It's not just about one player going off. It's about a team firing on all cylinders with Clark as the spark plug. Hold up. Is this the same Fever team that couldn't buy a win last season? Something's changed, and it's not just about one or two star players. What's really going on in Indiana that's got the whole league taking notice? The Fever's recent surge isn't just turning heads, it's packing seats. Sellout crowds are becoming the norm at home games, with fans eager to witness the team's transformation firsthand. It's a far cry from the quiet arenas of seasons past, and the energy is palpable. But let's zoom out for a second. This team's success isn't just about Lexie Hull's hot hand or Caitlin Clark's highlight reel passes. It's about a ripple effect that's touching every corner of the roster. Take Kelsey Mitchell, for instance. She's been on an absolute tear, averaging over 20 points per game in recent matchups. With Hull stretching the floor and Clark dishing out dimes, Mitchell's finding more room to operate than ever before. You might be wondering, how does one player's improvement affect the whole team? Well, it's simple math. When Hull's hitting 70% from beyond the arc, defenders can't sag off her. When they stay tight, it opens up driving lanes for Mitchell and cutting opportunities for everyone else. Suddenly, a team that once struggled to crack 80 points just recently put up 100. But here's where it gets really interesting. The Fever's not just lighting up the scoreboard, they're locking down on defense too. Their defensive rating has taken a serious leap, and a big part of that is Hull's two-way play. When she's on the floor, the team's allowing 3.5 fewer points per 100 possessions. That might not sound like much, but in the razor-thin margins of pro basketball, it's the difference between a win and a loss. Head coach Christie Sides isn't surprised by the team's growth. She's been preaching collective improvement since day one, and now it's paying off. As she puts it, the players have been putting in the work and showing improvement as a cohesive unit. It's not just coach speak. The results are there for everyone to see. Let's talk playoffs for a second. The Fever haven't sniffed the postseason since 2016. Now, they're right in the thick of the race, with a legitimate shot at breaking that drought. It's the kind of turnaround that makes you question everything you thought you knew about rebuilding in sports. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about making the playoffs. It's about changing the entire culture of a franchise. Players who once looked defeated before the opening tip are now strutting onto the court with swagger. Everyone's a celebrity. The Fever aren't just hoping to compete, they're expecting to win. And it all comes back to that ripple effect. Hull's improvement opens things up for Mitchell. Mitchell's scoring takes pressure off Clark. Clark's playmaking elevates everyone else. It's a virtuous cycle that's turned the Fever into one of the most entertaining teams in the league. You might be thinking, sure, but can they keep this up? It's a fair question. The WNBA is a league of adjustments, and opposing coaches are undoubtedly burning the midnight oil trying to figure out how to slow down this Fever offense. But that's the beauty of a team firing on all cylinders. Take away one option, and another one steps up. What we're seeing in Indiana isn't just a hot streak or a fluke. It's the result of smart roster construction, player development, and a rookie sensation who's catalyzing it all. The Fever have found a formula that's not just winning games, it's winning over fans and changing perceptions across the league. The Fever's transformation is more than just a feel-good story. It's a blueprint for success in the WNBA. Lexie Hull's newfound shooting prowess, Caitlin Clark's record-breaking playmaking, and the team's overall improvement have turned Indiana into a legitimate playoff contender. What does this mean for the future? The Fever aren't just winning games, they're changing perceptions. With Clark at the helm and a supporting cast that's hitting their stride, Indiana could be a force in the playoffs and beyond. They're proof that smart roster moves and player development can fast-track a rebuild. When team chemistry clicks and players buy into their roles, magic happens on the court. The Fever's journey shows that in sports, sometimes the whole really is greater than the sum of its parts. Are you ready for the Fever in the playoffs? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe so you never miss out on the latest news. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.